Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It's Isabel. I thought I would do a Q&A today. I posted a question box on my Instagram. I got a couple questions in there and I just kind of want you guys to get to know me a little bit better. So here we go. Some basic information about me. My name is Isabel. I am 22 years old. I'm married. I'm a military spouse. My birthday is August 4th. And yeah, that's about as basic as it gets. So I think we're going to dive into the questions that I got on Instagram. So the first question is, what is your favorite food? My favorite food is sushi, and a close second is tacos. It used to be tacos because I was very bland when it came to eating sushi. I would eat like shrimp tempura and that's about it. Like I never really dove into the raw fish until Sebastian and I started dating, and he's like a big lover of sushi. So then we started eating sushi more and I absolutely love it. I do love my tacos though, don't get me wrong. Tacos are a very close second. What is your favorite hobby? I like to think I'm an old soul. So, I mean, as you guys know, fitness is like the thing I do majority of the time. But outside of fitness, I actually like to read a lot. I have a Kindle. And right now I'm reading The X by Frida McFadden. I've been reading a lot of her books and they're actually really good. I like the way she writes. And my second hobby is crocheting. I like to make tops, blankets, bucket hats. I like to learn and try different things with crocheting. So I do a lot of baking for the families in the area. I make Italian rainbow cookies, pumpkin rolls. I'm making snickerdoodle cookies and just trying out different recipes, and I really enjoy that. I like being in the kitchen. I think it relaxes me. What is my current split at the gym? So I work out 5 times a week and I have 2 rest days. On Mondays I'm hitting posterior. On Tuesdays I'm hitting push. On Wednesdays, I'm hitting legs with more quad and hamstring focus. On Thursdays, I'm resting. Fridays is glute and shoulders. And Saturdays is pull. And Sunday's another rest day. And my favorite day of the week is pull. I am very much an upper body girly. I like pull and push. Legs are probably my least favorite. Just something about upper body makes me really excited. And pull is by far my favorite day of the week. I'm always excited when Saturday comes around. What is my playlist while working out? I am very big into EDM. I don't really have a preference or like dislike many music genres. I like country, I like hip hop, I like Spanish music, I like EDM. I'm very open to music, but my preference when working out is EDM. I'm a dubstep girly. I like bass music. I also like D&B, drum and bass. My favorite artist at the moment is Subtronics. I have loved his music for the longest time. I actually started listening to EDM back in middle school, like with Skrillex and stuff. And then there was like the generic EDM or like dance music like Calvin Harris and stuff, but Skrillex was like the first one that I remembered like dropping like dubstep, and like I stopped listening to it when I went off to college, and 3 years ago I was reintroduced to EDM again, and Subtronics was like the first artist, and I love him. Every set I've seen of his, he has never missed. And I also am really big into D&B right now. So Headaches, he's a UK DJ that I actually get to see in a couple of weeks, and I'm so excited because I love D&B. It's just such a fun, like fun music genre, and the energy is like all there. And I think that's why I listen to EDM when I'm working out. It's just like, it just gets me in the mood, and I can like listen to it my entire workout. I've been on a kick right now where I've been listening to mixes. Ravenscoon Halloween Mix 2021 has been my number one right now at the moment, and then Tape B, he has a mix that I've been listening to on repeat while I'm working out. How to do progressive overload. At the beginning of my fitness journey, which was like 5 years ago, I was doing the whole 4 sets of 10, 4 sets of 12, 4 sets of 15. That whole thing, I think it was a good starting point for me, but as I've gotten more comfortable in the gym, I have switched over to training until failure, and I think that's where I've seen the most growth personally for my training, and I think I've heard that a lot of people do see the most growth with training until failure. So basically what I'll do is I track my workouts on a spreadsheet. Some people do it on like a notebook or on their notes app. And for every movement, every week, I'm putting the weight I'm using and the reps I'm hitting. So for example, if I'm doing incline bench press on my first week and I'm using 25-pound dumbbells and I'm hitting 15 reps. My rep range is usually 12 to 15 when I'm trying to get to failure. So then I'll know I'm at that 15. I can actually increase that weight. So let me try 30 pounds. And at 30 pounds, I'll hit 13 at failure. Okay, that's still within my rep range. I'm good. Now the following week, I'll look back at the weight I did and I will try to hit 14 reps with that 30 pounds or 15 reps with that 30 pounds. And then if I hit that, then I'll be like, okay, I can do a little jump. So you see, I'm using my previous data from the previous week and trying to increase the reps each week with that weight, getting better with that weight amount and stronger with that weight amount. So then that way I can increase to the next set of dumbbells and increase the weight, hoping to still hit within my rep range of 12 to 15 while hitting failure. I'm unsure if that all made sense. But I personally just track it on a spreadsheet and I look back at my previous week and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hit 13 reps because I did 12 last week. And I push myself until I get to that 13. And then I'll like continuously get to the end of my rep range and I'll increase the weight. What's your advice on eating healthy for people that are lazy and don't feel like cooking? Don't be lazy. If your goals are that important to you, then do it. Like, just, it's not hard to meal prep. I mean, I know when I first started, like, actually taking care of my nutrition, I would meal prep Sunday nights and then, like, have all my meals out ready. Or there's even ways to get your protein in without having to cook all the time. For example, I know when I'm on a run, I'll have Quest protein chips, or I'll have a Greek yogurt, or I'll have a protein shake. And sometimes I choose like interesting recipes to keep me going, or like I find my favorite foods to eat in the day. For example, my breakfast is my favorite meal, and it's a bagel, Dave's Killer Bagel with veggie cream cheese, raspberry preserve, eggs, and chicken sausage. And I know that like that motivates me to eat, and because it's a meal I really enjoy. I mean, who doesn't like a bagel? But just things like that. It's not that hard to put a bagel in the toaster and then come back to it and eat it. Or it's not hard to grab a bag of Quest chips out the pantry or to shake up a protein shake. It's just realizing that if you really want to get to your goals, you're going to have to put the time and effort in to do so. And two, like just getting in a routine and finding what's best for you on certain days. I know some people like are super busy during the day, so maybe the night before packing some snacks or overnight oats or something like that, so that way during the day you're not stressing about having to cook. And I think just working your way around that and being more driven if it's something that's going to help you achieve your goals. What do you dislike about yourself? this one had me thinking. Is I expect things, and in return it hurts me because I have this expectation. I also think I'm truly pretty hard on myself. I mean, who isn't? We're all each other, like we're all our own hardest critics. I don't give myself like the credit for what I do, and sometimes I wish I did, because I am pretty hard on myself. And I also, this is a big one, I am very bad about talking about how I feel. I tend to keep a lot of things inside, and it ends up like just building, and then I'll have like a breakdown. And I feel like it's pretty common, and I've heard a lot of people say the same thing. But that is genuinely something I do dislike about myself, just because I feel like it can affect the relationships around me, because I'm not speaking up or sharing my feelings and thoughts. And I think it's okay to dislike something about yourself. I feel like everyone does, as long as like you're working to better it. And I feel like I am trying to work on it, just to make myself a better person. And sometimes it's hard to work on things, but good things take time. Remember that. What's your best achievement? I'm not one to really talk about myself like that, or talk about my achievements. I guess I'll share this. I mean, I graduated at 19 with my bachelor's from the University of Florida, and I have a degree in psychology. I got my associates when I graduated high school at 17. So I think that's one of my biggest achievements, as well as my fitness journey. And now I will talk about my fitness journey. So at 15 I was diagnosed with PCOS. It wasn't until the beginning of my junior year where I decided to take my health serious. I was playing lacrosse for my high school team. I was the goalie. What a fun time that was. But I was a goalie for my high school lacrosse team. And then gym, Crunch Fitness, opened up right by my high school. So I would go to lacrosse practice, go to this gym, and I started working out. I started off doing a lot of cardio. I was at the gym more than I needed to be, just doing cardio, watching what I ate, but also enjoying myself. And at the end of my I want to say at the end of my junior year, I was 150 to 160. And I continued to keep going, and I started dabbling into the weights now at the gym. No, I did not know what the hell I was doing with those weights. I probably shouldn't have been touching them. But I was like following workouts from Instagram, and I started working out at this gym, lifting. And then I went off to college, and I got into this mindset that I needed to be the skinniest version of myself. And this is where the unhealthy habits started. I am very transparent about this, just because I want to help others, or educate others, or share my experience with others. When I went off to college, I started taking laxatives. I was taking laxatives every day, sometimes more than once a day. I was only eating one meal a day, and I was doing endless amounts of cardio. I would literally go to the gym. I would do a kickboxing class. I would then do Zumba, and then I would hop on the treadmill and run 2 to 3 miles almost every day. And sometimes I would incorporate weights, sometimes I wouldn't. Sometimes I would run the stadium. And mind you, I was also walking around a lot on campus just to get to classes. I would literally probably only eat once a day with another snack, and then go home, take laxatives, just to try to be my skinniest version. And I look back at that and I feel so bad for that person, like of who I was, because that's just not the right way. And to feel like I needed to be so small, was just like, it's hard for me to think about that time and think about like how I mentally was thinking at the time. I just thought it was right. Like, I need to do it. I need to do it. Like, I was every week spending money on laxatives and then taking them and only eating one meal a day. And then I would go out on the weekends and binge, and then go home and take laxatives to try to erase it. And it wasn't until I moved back home I moved home during COVID. So when I was at the University of Florida, I weighed about 135-ish, I think. When I got back home, I started to not rely on laxatives as much. And I was kind of intuitively eating, but also fasting, just trying different things. But I still was doing the endless amount of cardio. I was doing HIIT YouTube classes. I was also running on the treadmill. I was hula hooping. I was boxing. I was doing all this endless amount of cardio that I did not need to be doing. And granted, it was COVID, so I guess I was being a little bit productive with my time, but it was unnecessary. I then started working at the gym as a personal trainer, and a couple months prior to that, I started getting into lifting. I was like, okay, this feels good. Like, I think I'm getting better with my form. I actually had a trainer for a little bit who helped me with that. So I felt a little bit more confident dabbling in that section of the gym. And I then started to eat more, and I then lost the concept of how much I should be eating, and I gained weight again. I went to about, I want to say 155 pounds. I want to say 155. And I was somewhat like powerlifting. I was really only focusing on deadlifts. That was like my favorite movement, and bench. Those two were like my favorites. I'm not a big squat girly. I don't like squats, but I do them. But I was just focusing on being strong. I was like, I gotta eat to be strong, but it was kind of like a dirty bulk. It was like very much a dirty bulk. I did not feel good all the time. My digestion was so off. I was gaining weight like crazy. Wasn't really taking care of my body the way I should be. And that's when I hired a local coach. It was one that a lot of the trainers in my company used. And I started to see some results of me getting back into shape and like losing the weight, but I just didn't feel like I was being listened to by my coach. So I stopped with her and I got a different coach. And I just felt like I did better with having a coach that helped guide me. Okay, this is what you're going to eat. This is the movements you're going to do. This is how you're going to train. I felt better having that. I'm a very much routine person, so being told what to do or having like a schedule works very well for me. And I got this new coach. I also felt the same issue. He just wasn't listening to me. I felt like there was something wrong with my hormones. I felt like something wasn't right. I also just like, it's a time in my life where Sebastian was like going away into the army, so like I wanted to be present in the moment, enjoy that moment, and I just felt like this coach was not understanding of that. So I went on my own, and this was around the time where we were about to get married, and you want to look your best for the wedding. So I started eating a lot less, training more, just trying to look my absolute best, and I felt like I did lose some weight. I got down to, I want to say 130-ish. Yeah, about around the time of the wedding, I was around that weight. And then we moved to our home, and I like was not good with my eating. And I tried tracking macros, and I just wasn't doing well with that. I gained like some weight again, but I really wasn't like, I lost all my confidence in the gym Like I was doing the workouts correctly, but I wasn't pushing myself to increase the weight just because I lost the confidence that like, oh my God, what if I'm not doing this right and somebody's looking at me and I look silly? But I'm like, in the back of my mind, I know I'm doing this right. So why am I being like that? Why am I not having confidence in myself? So I think I had this conversation with Sebastian and I was like, I feel like I need a coach again. Like I just need someone that will help guide me. And he was like, I agree. You are very much a person that like just thrives with having a coach, just because I'm very much of a routine person and I feel like it holds me accountable. I have to do this. I check in with them every week. I have access to them 24/7. That way, if I do need something, I have someone that can guide me and provide me their opinion, and can help me adjust my macros. I got a coach. I started my journey with her back in May, I believe. Yeah, and I weighed 135. We did a cut because my goal at the time was to try to like just get more defined with my muscle, lose a lot of fat. I felt like my digestion was very, very off just because like I wasn't being mindful of that and like the foods I was eating that was affecting that. I wasn't paying attention to those kinds of things, and I wanted to focus on my digestion, my strength, and just having guidance with nutrition. Now we're going into a bulk, and this is the most calories I've eaten in a bulk, and I'm not even at the peak of my bulk, which is crazy just to think. Like with proper cutting and like bulking, like your metabolism speeds up, and with training and increasing like the weights you're using, it just helps speed up your metabolism. Because I remember peak bulk last year, I was eating 2,200, and right now I'm about 2,400, and I'm not even peak bulk, and I'm slightly gaining weight. Like it's not like a huge increase. So it's just so crazy to think about what your body can do and how food fuels your body. Like I know that's such a crazy concept, and like it's so hard for many people to grasp that concept just because you're scared of like the weight changing on the scale. And don't get me wrong, sometimes I am too. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, the weight is going up, like I'm freaking out. But it's really like, it's just more so about how you feel and the energy and loving the way I look. I'm seeing the progress I want. And granted, even though the progress does take time, just having faith in that time and faith in building it and just really striving for that success. Like being 100% to yourself. And that's like the whole story of my fitness journey. I'm right now going into a bulk. I do want to try to compete. Do you have a pet? I do. Her name is Athena, and if you've seen this camera move a little bit, it's because she's squirming around on the floor. She is a rescue. We rescued her almost 2 years ago now, so it's been 1 year and 10 months. And that's just so crazy. Time literally flies. But we rescued her. She's 4 years old. She's a little crazy. But she's a Staffordshire Bull Terrier. So like a pit bull is easy to think of. But she's such a sweetheart when it comes to us. And now she knows I'm talking about her and she's looking at me. Name a few things you are grateful for in your life. Oh God, this is a deep question. I think number one has to be my husband. I just feel like I can be 100% myself around him. He's literally my best friend. I am so grateful for his constant support and guidance and just making me feel so loved. He cares for me so much, and I truly do believe that he is the person that was put on this earth for me to find, and for our paths to come so we can continue our journeys together. I think I know I'm also very, very grateful for my family and friends. I would like to say the friends I have truly do care about our friendships and me, and I'm just so thankful that I have those friends around me. Like, I know I can count on them for whatever I need, and they can count on me. Even my family, like the things they do for me and care for me is just, I'm so grateful. I have no words to even put together. I feel loved and cared for. And I think I'm gonna leave off the video from here. I just wanted this to be a little short, get to know me, and it was kind of fun just to sit here and ramble on. But I just want to thank you guys for watching and for being so supportive. So thank you guys for watching, and thank you guys for being here. I want you guys to know that you are all loved, and I'm just so happy you're here. So I will see you guys in the next one.